Y'all, life just brings you the greatest surprises, and I've showed up here on the campus of Birmingham Southern College. Are y'all a university now?
No,
or still
just a college, just a
I love
liberal
it.
arts college.
Liberal Arts College. We're in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm here to see an exhibit of one of the alums, and I've just met this very nice man, Jim Neel. And tell the people about your work. We're looking there at, is this yours?
Some of it, mm-hmm.
Ah.
So most of my work is pretty political in nature.
Uh-huh.
I sort of deal with a issue of conflict.
Yes.
So a lot of my work is there. The last large series of works I did was based on trips to the Middle East. So I lived for like a month a couple of summers ago on the border between Turkey and Syria. So a lot of the work then was about the plight of children in areas of conflict. Yes. Refugee children. I spent time going to refugee hospitals, meeting children and doctors and nurses that deal with children with really terrible injuries. And to
that's very courageous of you.
Well, I'm not sure it's courageous. I'm just crazy. So I've been doing this since the early '80s. A friend of mine, the writer Dennis Covington, and I have worked as a team and worked on several books and used to work for the newspapers and magazines covering the conflicts in Central America in the '80s, and then we sort of have gone from that. We worked in the '90s with Serpent handling churches in Appalachia and did a book called Salvation on Sand Mountain. And
so people could still get that book?
Well, they can. It's in everybody's library. Just got translated into Spanish.
Wow.
And it comes out at the end of the month in Spanish.
Oh my goodness, this is international.
And it's available in French and Polish. I'm
not
not sure about
Polish. Get in there?
I have no idea, but they did a really wonderful job of translating it, and so it's available in Polish as well. So that was in 1995, so it's been around for a while, and it continues to sort of pop up in our lives occasionally.
Well, this is a great treat to get to meet you.
Thanks. A lot of my work in the last few years has been, I've made a lot of it at the Kohler Company in Wisconsin, the folks who make toilets and sinks.
Yes.
They have an artist residency program there. It's about 45 years old or so, and they invite about 12 to 16 artists there a year to work.
What an honor.
In their factory. It's terrific. It's great. It's pretty competitive. About 500 people or so apply for it every year. So I was just there this summer for 2 months, and it was my 4th trip there. So
congratulations.
Well, it's terrific. It's great. So I like to think of those monkeys.
The monkeys
so
on the
I made the chimps there a few years ago.
Yes.
Back there, and they're part of a larger installation that has 50 of them in it.
Oh, gracious.
So it's owned by the John Michael Kohler Art Center, which is a small museum in Sheboygan, Wisconsin now.
Well, I had no idea.
So everybody here on the faculty, Steve and Pam and Kevin and Jurgen, we're all practicing artists, so we're all exhibiting artists. We're showing our work continually. Yes. And work continually. So
this is where we get the phrase "working artist."
That's it. We're all doing it all the time. So
that's the real deal.
It's a real deal, and we're real happy that we have Chris Foggy here tonight for his opening.
Yes.
He graduated before me. I didn't actually teach Chris. I'm a graduate of the program too. So Raymond McMahon, who started the program, was my painting professor, and Bob Tucker, who taught sculpture, was my sculpture professor here, my mentor. He also taught Chris, and so it's really nice to have that kind of common ground.
Yes.
Robert Tucker and taught Tucker taught sculpture. Robert Shelton taught printmaking.
What a crew!
Virginia Rimbert taught art history. It was a small department, but they were, again, just really terrific artists and teachers. So I got real fortunate, and then I got to follow my mentor here teach sculpture.
That's great. Do you want to take
Perfect.
us down the hall?
We can do that if you'd like.
Sure. So you are in
Doesn't
in the office of the studio. This is the real bike of the artist, professor. All of the good things. Yes. So you can say you were here.
That's Raymond McMahon's painting over there.
Oh, is
The
it?
red and
Okay.
yellow.
When we
Black
just
and
met a
violet.
minute ago, I was telling Jim that Mr. McMahon was a dental patient of my daddy's. And one summer he went to Mexico, and I remember him. I was probably a teen, and he came to the house. And this is his paint. This first one is his.
That's his painting.
Well, he was into realism, and he swapped an oil of a rocky coast with Daddy for artwork.
Wow,
We love to barter.
that's great.
So we're gonna
For
go down the
Bill.
hall.
Yeah, got his Bill.
So
Working
Jim was
on it
just
now.
saying he just got back from Kohler, and so artists always say it's a real mess, and I'm gonna clean it up one day. But,
Well, this. It's not normally like this. Honestly,
Okay.
It's a little more organized than this usually, but
this
well,
is
like
a
I said,
happening
sort of been-
place, though.
I've been gone for 2 months and sort of wrecked it before I left, and then I haven't had a chance to kind of fix it. But this is a piece that the new work that's from the summer from Kohler. So it's
Oh,
so it
that's
is-
a statement.
yeah. So they're all about the new works are tend to be about different things that kill us.
I see.
And so,
I think you've done that very well. I
So-
think I get the message.
so some of those sort of different things. So I'm fitting this in here and just sort of grind it so it fits perfectly, and then sort of decide that this will, of course, stand up and everything. So there are others with different pieces to them.
Yes.
So yeah, my work's kind of dark.
But tells us something.
It's
Makes
about-
us think.
It's the dark side. So I don't really do much happy stuff. So
Well, thank you for
I
the
like-
balance and
thanks.
and for the depth.
Thanks.
So it's been really great to meet you, and thank you for letting us
Well,
into your world.
You too. Thank you so much for
Appreciate
coming
it.
in. Yeah.
Great day.
I'm glad you came for the exhibition as well. So
Thank you. Bye.
thanks.
Well, one more thing, just
Sure.
one more thing.
Yeah.
Jim was saying that these are from outgrowths from his trip to Syria.
Yeah.
And can you tell us?
Sure. So when I came back from Syria and was headed up to Kohler for 4 months, and
No, I got
yeah,
a problem
that's all
with
right.
that.
yeah, your battery or was I can't read.
Oh
it.
yeah,
Hold on.
I'm gonna. We have to go back just a little bit of a
Okay,
step.
That's okay.
So Jim was in Syria, and tell us about this.
Well, I was on the Syrian border. I stayed in Turkey. It was too dangerous at that point to go in, and so when I got back from there, I headed to Kohler for 4 months to work on new projects. And my mother had just passed away, and I found in the cedar chest her dolls, and so I took her dolls and. This one was only about 4 or 5 inches long originally, and then I just blew it up to the size of children. So the children that would play with it. So 3-4 feet tall, and so and then did these objects that are sort of archaeological. They're sort of broken and repaired.
These are really powerful.
Thank you so much. So she's on a oil drum and missing some parts and broken in places. And there's I think a dozen or so pieces along that line.
Again, thank you so
Sure.
much. This is
Sure.
a rare treat. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.